Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do Leetcode. That list question is blind 75 question contain duplicate. So basically let us first read this question, then about the constraint, examples, intuition, time complexity, and then finally the coding part for the same. So now let us first read this question. So here, uh, we are given an integer array nums, we are required to return true if any value occurs at least twice in the array and return false if every element is distinct. So basically in this question, we are required to check that if there is at least one element which appears twice, that's a thing. Else, if no element appears twice, means every element in the array is distinct, then we are required to return false. So as per this question, see, if we check like which data structure we can use, where we can easily detect about the duplicates. So we basically the one data structure which comes to our mind is about set and map, right? Where every duplicate is easily detected, right? So that's in this question we can easily use that set or map. That's a thing. But now comes the part that how we are required to use that, and that is the basic implementation of this particular question. If you're new to using map or set, then it would be like great learning for you. But if you already know that how to use set and map, then surely you can directly implement the same because it is easy level question. Now let us first check for the constraint. So here the constraint is like 10 to the power 5 is the length, so order of n or order of n log n would be the time complexity at which we can go, and nums of 5 10 to the power 9, so integer would be the data type which we are required to use. So now let us first do dry run and then we will be finally coding. So here if we use set, okay, so how it would be like, we will be first checking that does this element exist in a set. If it exists, then we will be returning true. If not existing, then we will be inserting into a set. That would be the first thing we will be doing. And then goes for this, then goes for this, and then goes for this. Now all the elements have been exhausted, and here we can see that one appears. So that's why here we will be turning true. Now let us go for this. It would be inserted, then inserted, then inserted, then inserted, and finally all exhausted. So when finally all exhausted, then at the end, what we will be returning would be, we will be returning false. So that's the thing which we are required to do here. Means basically we will be filling up the elements in the set, and if it doesn't appear twice, means if it was not there in the set earlier, right? Then we will be returning false at the end. So that's the thing which we are required to do in our implementation for this particular question. Now, while doing this particular approach, now comes the part that what would be the time complexity. So basically, we are traversing this array and filling up the set, right? So that's why time complexity would be order of n. And the space complexity, that would be also order of n because here we are using the set. Either we can use set or we can also use the unordered set because we don't require sorting for the same, right? We just need to have a lookup that does that element exist or not. So that's why we will be directly using the unordered set rather than using a set, because if we use set, then the time complexity will become order of n log n. So why we require order of n log n, right? We don't require, we can do our work in order of n, so that would be also fine. So that's why we will be using another set in this particular question. So this was about the intuition, explanation, time complexity, and space complexity. Now let us go ahead with the coding part for the same. So here's the coding. 1 minute. Okay. Now let us code this particular question. So here we are using unordered set. So that's the thing here. Int, and then let us name it as duplicates. So that would be the thing. Now we are required to traverse our array, right? So we will be using for each loop. So for I in nums, now what first we are required to check? We are required to check that if that I exists in our duplicate set or not. So for that, I'm using this count function because we can also use that find function as well. But I feel like count function is like it will directly return 0 or 1 that if that exists or not in that context. So that's why I'm using count. So if duplicates.count I, if that is the case, then we will be returning true. Then we don't need to further check because we found at least one element which is duplicate. Now comes the part that if it is not already there, right? So here we are required to insert that particular element. So for inserting that element, we will be using insert function and here it got inserted. So like this only all the elements would be checked and then at the end if it would have not returned true at the starting and now after completing of that loop it hasn't returned true till yet, right? So at the end we are required to return false because we hadn't found any element which was duplicate. So this was all for this particular question. And time complexity, space complexity, I've already explained. That is order of n, and the space complexity here is that is also order of n. So yeah, this was all for this particular question. If you have any doubt, you could comment it down. And yeah, if you like the explanation, please do like and subscribe to my channel. And also do share among your friends. So this is the only support I want if you really like this explanation. So yeah, this was all. Thank you.